Hello guys, welcome back. My name is Nathan and today I'm going to be discussing which NHL teams need Yaroslav Askarov the most. Now, Yaroslav Askarov is the top goaltending prospect in the 2020 draft, and right now it's not close whatsoever. He's a guy that could go as high as the top 5, but is likely going to go top 10 in the 2020 draft. But where will Yaroslav Askarov end up on draft day, and which teams right now in the NHL are most likely to select him, and which teams need him the most? Watch till the end for all my picks and answers, and of course, subscribe if you're new. Now, Yaroslav Askarov isn't just the best goalie in this draft. He might be one of the best goalies ever drafted, likely being the best since a guy like Andrei Vasilevsky. Right now, Askarov sits at 17 years old, 6'3", 176 pounds, good old Russian goalie. Askarov is a guy who could go as high as top 5. For a team that does need goaltending, and there's a lot of them in the draft right now, that could be a potential case. That he might not even go top 10, but could sneak his way into the top 5. He is that good, and a lot of teams are that high on him. Now, just like the other videos I made just like this one, I'll have 3 different tiers ranking the teams that need Yaroslav Askarov the most to the teams that only really want Askarov. We'll have 12 different teams in today's video that I'll be talking about. We're going to be starting from tier 3 of the really want category up to tier 2 in the badly want category, and last but not least, tier 1, the teams that need Yaroslav Askarov. Now, I'm going to start out today, obviously, with Tier 3 and work our way up. And for my first team that is in Tier 3, the really want Askarov tier, I'm going to go with the Columbus Blue Jackets. Now, the Columbus Blue Jackets being the first team mentioned, I think is a team that wants him the least out of the 12 here. Mostly it's because Korpisalo and Merzlikins are already there. But if Columbus somehow goes crazy and wants that next franchise goaltender, then Yaroslav Askarov could be that. But again, they already have Korpisalo, who's looking like a pretty solid starter right now, was named to the All-Star game. Unfortunately, we've been missing due to injury, but they also have Elvis Merzlikins, who's finally getting his feet wet in the NHL. So I don't think goaltending is a problem for them right now. I think they will go for a forward in this draft, but Askarov is still there if they want it. Now, due to goaltending being especially wonky, especially when it comes to draft prospects, there will be a couple of teams here that are actually in the playoffs. I put them there because even though Askarov is the best goalie, he could still end up dropping if, of course, the forwards and defensemen take over. And for instance, for my second team in Tier 3, I have the Calgary Flames. Now, I know they've been fantastic as of late. They've been pretty hot lately. No pun intended. Actually, pun was intended. I don't want to lie to you guys. That pun was seriously intended and seriously bad. But for a team like Calgary, although Graviteh has been great this season, I still think there's nothing really in their prospect system when it comes to goaltending that could really be at the NHL level, but Askarov could be at that point, the guy there. I still don't think it's likely that he's going to drop to Calgary's pick because it's looking pretty great right now, but Calgary could still definitely use a guy like that. Now, going on to my third team in Tier 3, the really want tier, I'm going to go with the New Jersey Devils. Now, the Devils, I don't think have really any chance at selecting Askarov. They already have Mackenzie Blackwood, which right now is one of their best players and likely will be the goaltender of the future for them, so I don't see them selecting a goaltender, but somehow if they go on like a huge winning streak and are at number 10 or something and Askarov is still there, maybe they do think about it. I think every team would really want to have Askarov. I think New Jersey is in that category. I don't think they'll be in a position to really take Askarov and have it be justified as a good pick though. For New Jersey, Blackwood is the future, the now, and the present, and I think that will be the way they go. I think they'll go for a forward, defenseman, whatever it might be, but I don't see them touching Askarov. Now, a team that I think is kind of in the same boat as New Jersey is my fourth team in Tier 3, that being the Nashville Predators. Now, the Predators, at where they're picking right now, will likely have a much better chance at getting Askarov, but I still don't think they'll go for him. You already have UC Saros there, who's looking like the next goaltender after Picarene. Neither goaltender have been good whatsoever this season, but I still think Saros will be given a lot more chances and have a lot more potential too. But Askarov still could be a fit there if they give up on UC Saros as the future guy. I think that could still happen, but for a team like Nashville, if they do end up missing the playoffs, I think forward is their priority and what they should go with. And now on to the final and the fifth team in Tier 3, the really want Askarov tier. I'm going to have the Chicago Blackhawks. Now, this is really only because of Robin Lehner's play. I think Robin Lehner is the guy for Chicago, and they'll be able to re-sign him for multiple years, and he will be the starter for the next half decade. It really is only because of him that they don't need Askarov, because if they had Corey Crawford and still Scott Darling or something stupid, then yes, Askarov needs to be there. But I think Robin Lehner has kind of suppressed that a little bit. Yes, I still think they could use a top goalie prospect, maybe the successor after Robin Lehner, but still I don't see Askarov as the guy. I think they'll go for a forward defenseman way before they touch Askarov, just like a lot of the teams in the really want category. But now going from Tier 3 to Tier 2, the badly want Yaroslav Askarov tier. And starting us out in Tier 2, I have the LA Kings. Now the LA Kings are not in the need Askarov tier, mostly because Jack Campbell and Cal Peterson are going to be decent NHL goalies. But I don't see them being anything more than that. I think some Kings fans maybe see them as maybe even Cal Peterson as a future starter, but I don't see his potential being that high. Askarov, though, is a guy that if LA does go that route, would be a great franchise goaltender for them and would be the successor after Jonathan Quick. And at the same time, for LA's rebuild, you have Turcotte and all these guys coming up. Once that team is finally ready to contend, Askarov will be getting in his groove in the NHL too. It might take some more patience, but for a team like LA that wants to take that next step, I'm not sure if Jack Campbell or Cal Peterson will take them to that. But Yaroslav Askarov, in his prime, in his full current NHL form, I think can do that. And now heading on to the second team in Tier 2, the badly want Askarov tier. I'm going to go with a team that is in the playoff race right now, just like Calgary, that being the Vegas Golden Knights. Now the Vegas Golden Knights are a weird team when it comes to goaltending, because obviously you have the starter in Fleury, and he'll be there for the next couple of years. And you also have Malcolm Subban, who I think can be an okay NHL goalie. But if you're really banking on Malcolm Subban to be your next starter, I'm not too sure that's going to work out too great for Vegas. And in my opinion, that's a team that could really use a prospect like Askarov. It'll take some time, maybe more time than they want at this point. But for a team like Vegas, I think Askarov just makes way too much sense. That's a team that already has some Russian influence, drafting Pavel Dorofeyev in this past draft, but I think that's a team that could use that next goaltender. Yes, Fleury is nice right now, but I don't think he's going to be at that level for too much longer. But Askarov can be a perfect replacement, and hopefully in time too. But now heading into my third team in Tier 2, the badly want Askarov tier, I'm going to go with the Minnesota Wild. Now, originally when I was making this video, I'm like, okay, Minnesota has to be in the need Askarov tier. Look at their goaltending. It is so freaking bad. But then I remember Kaapo Kähkönen, the guy who's coming up in the Minnesota ranks, who did pretty well in his stint with the Wild so far this season. That's a guy that I think could be a pretty decent starter in the NHL someday for Minnesota. He might not be an amazing goaltender, but I think he can be pretty good someday. And that's a goaltender that I think Minnesota can kind of wait on, maybe at that point. But I still think they would really want a guy like Askarov. It would be peak Wild to select him like 5th overall or something if they get that high. But that's a team that could need that next generational starter goaltender. I think Kähkönen is nice, but I'm not sure if he'll take them to the promised land like Askarov could. But going on to my last team in the badly want tier, I'm going to go with the Buffalo Sabres. Now, when I was making this list yesterday, I must have forgot about Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen being a thing for Buffalo, so I'm sorry about that. But I'll still have him at that spot because I still think they could really use a guy like Askarov. Yes, I think Ullmark has had a pretty solid season with Buffalo, but just imagining a future pairing of Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen and Yaroslav Askarov. Bro, that's like two Dominic Haseks. I'm obviously kidding, but when it comes to those two guys, I think that would be an amazing tandem going forward. And even if Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen doesn't end up turning out, you have another option and vice versa for that situation. I still think for Buffalo, it would be probably wiser maybe to get another forward option, maybe go for the defense, but Yaroslav Askarov could be really freaking cool on Buffalo, and I think it could work out in the end. But now into the top tier. Tier 1, the need Yaroslav Askarov tier. And starting us out for the first team of 3 in this one, I have the Ottawa Senators. Now the Senators might be one of the most likely teams to get him, and to also get Alexis Lafreniere at the same time. They have their pick and San Jose's pick, which right now is looking like a 5 to maybe 8 pick right now, which is the perfect place to get a guy like Askarov, especially for Ottawa, who I think will need goaltending in the future. Right now, Nilsson is doing a very solid job, but he's more towards the older trend of things rather than on his way up. I think right now he's kind of on the tail end of his prime. But you also have guys like Philip Gus in the pool who have kind of disappointed in the past couple of years that I'm not completely sure on. But a guy like Yaroslav Askarov would be a for sure bet almost. And if you give him the time to develop, could be a fantastic goalie and maybe the best goalie of all time for Ottawa. And now heading into my second team in Tier 1, the Need Askarov tier, I'm going to go with the Detroit Red Wings. Now, in a wacky, weird universe, so Detroit ends up finishing last and getting like the 4th overall pick and selecting Yaroslav Askarov. That would be like peak Steve Yzerman going absolutely bonkers. But at the same time, for a team like Detroit, they really don't have anybody else. I mean, they have Jimmy Howard and Bernier in the NHL, but it's like, those guys are both grandpas at this point, and they don't really have anybody in the system at this point for goaltending. So I think a guy like Askarov could be a huge, huge piece for them, but I don't think they're at the position where it would be good to select Askarov. Even at number 4, I think that would be a huge reach, a huge one, especially the talent that would be available there. So I don't think Detroit will end up selecting him, but I still think they need him. And now on to number 1, the team, in my opinion, that needs Yaroslav Askarov the most out of anybody in the NHL right now. I'm gonna go with the San Jose Sharks. It is really the goaltending situation. I was looking at it this morning and I'm like, what the heck is going on here, bro? Because they have Martin Jones and Aaron Dell, who both suck. And they have literally 0 options goaltending-wise in the system. Nothing whatsoever. But they can't even get Yaroslav Askarov because they don't have their first-round pick. Again, like the Alexi Lafreniere video, it's just so... I like the Sharks. I really enjoy watching them, but I don't enjoy this. Not having your first-round pick when you could use a guy like Askarov so much. And Detroit can definitely use him. It seems like Ottawa needs him almost. Before a team like San Jose, they literally don't have any goaltending. Like, none whatsoever. So Askarov would be the perfect fit, but of course, they can't get him because Sharks fans cannot have good things. But of course, with today's video, I need to hear y'all's thoughts down those comments down below. And let me know what you think about my picks through Tier 3 to Tier 1, what you agree and disagree with, and of course, the question on to you. Which team do you think needs Yaroslav Askarov the most right now? But if y'all want some more Grav videos just like this one, I would suggest you click on this playlist right here to watch all of my 2020 NHL draft content right in one place. But that'll be it for today, guys. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that notification bell if you haven't already. Comment down below your thoughts on my picks throughout the tiers and who you think needs Yaroslav Askarov the most right now. Share this video with your friends. Get the goaltending struggles out there, boys, because Yaroslav Askarov is the real deal. My name is Nathan, and I'll see y'all next video or stream. Goodbye.